Most retirees stop working, but the $2,000 monthly housing bill never stops. Now, some are walking away from it completely for a $9,990 alternative. Owning your home does not mean you are free. Most people spend decades working toward one goal, paying off the house and finally breathe. But here is what nobody tells you until you get there. The house being paid off does not mean the bills stop. Property taxes arrive every year without asking how your retirement is going. The roof gets old, the water heater gives out, the HVAC system needs replacing. None of these things care that you are on a fixed income, and none of them come cheap. Renters face a different version of the same trap. At around $1,800 a month, 10 years of renting quietly costs you $216,000. And when you walk away, you have nothing to show for it. No equity, no asset, just a decade of payments gone. That is when many people start asking a question they never thought they would. What if there is a completely different way to do this? So what does the alternative actually look like? That is where things get interesting. The idea that sounds crazy until you actually think about it. A Tesla-based motorhome priced at around $9,990. Not a vacation vehicle, not a weekend camper, but a full replacement for traditional housing. You buy it once, and instead of paying rent or a mortgage every month, you live in it. The first reaction for most people is doubt, and that makes sense because housing has never really worked this way before. But Tesla is not a typical company, and its product development process differs significantly from that of traditional manufacturers. What Elon Musk has and has not said. Musk has described an upcoming product reveal as one of the most exciting Tesla has ever held, with production expected within 12 to 18 months of the announcement. He has not confirmed a motorhome, and no one at Tesla has officially put a $9,990 price tag on anything. That space between what is confirmed and what people are speculating about is where this whole conversation lives right now. What is confirmed is that Tesla is actively developing its semi-platform further, and earlier internal discussions pointed toward sleeper-style configurations, meaning vehicles designed to support extended living. Connect those two things, and the motorhome concept stops being pure fantasy. But speculation alone does not make something worth paying attention to. The engineering behind it does. Why the price could actually work. Tesla does something most manufacturers avoid. They reuse what already works rather than engineering everything from scratch for each new product. The Model Y is built on the Model 3 platform, and that decision alone saved enormous amounts in development costs while keeping the price accessible. The motorhome concept follows the same logic. Estimates suggest roughly 70% of the vehicle would carry over directly from the Semi, including the chassis, motors, and electrical systems. Those are the parts that normally make a vehicle expensive to develop. Since they are already solved, the cost of turning that platform into a livable space drops significantly. The cargo section gets replaced with a living setup, and suddenly you have something entirely new built on a foundation that already exists and already works. Smaller than a house, bigger than you expect. At 21 feet long, 8.5 feet wide, and 13 feet tall, this vehicle falls right in line with a full-size motorhome. Inside, the focus is on what people actually need day to day. A proper sleeping area, a kitchen with an induction cooktop and a refrigerator, and a bathroom with both a toilet and a shower. Climate control is built in, so the temperature stays manageable whether you are parked in Arizona in July or Montana in November. This is not designed to feel like a luxury hotel suite. The goal is function, a space that supports real daily life without depending on external systems or services to stay comfortable. Who is actually considering this? The people paying the most attention to this concept are not tech enthusiasts or van life influencers. They are retirees in their 60s and 70s who did everything right and still feel financially squeezed. Some own homes outright, but watch thousands leave their account every year just to maintain them. Others are renting and realizing their savings are shrinking faster than they planned. There is also a growing group of people in their 50s who are still working, but looking ahead and questioning whether a fixed address is actually serving them. Remote work changed the equation for a lot of people. When your job no longer requires you to be in one city, the reason to pay $2,000 a month to stay there gets harder to justify. What makes this motorhome concept land differently for that group is the permanence of the purchase. You are not signing a lease. You are not locked into a 30-year mortgage. You spend close to $10,000 once, and the monthly pressure drops dramatically. For someone watching their retirement account carefully, that shift in fixed costs is not a small thing. The energy system changes everything. One of the most important things separating this concept from a regular motorhome is how it handles power. The expected battery size is around 220 kilowatt hours, which gives close to 300 miles of driving range. When the vehicle is parked, that same battery powers everything inside: lights, appliances, heating, and cooling, with no generator running and no fuel being burned. The roof solar setup adds to that by generating meaningful charge over 3 to 4 days of decent sunlight. Traditional diesel motorhomes cost between $5,000 and $10,000 in fuel alone each year, and maintenance adds another $2,000 to $4,000 on top of that. Those costs repeat every single year. The electric setup cuts most of that out entirely. That can't compare to what most people are currently spending just to have a roof over their head. Running the numbers on monthly life. If the base purchase price holds near $9,990, the upfront cost is closer to buying a used car than purchasing a home. Monthly costs look very different from traditional housing too. Campground fees typically run between $400 and $800, depending on location and amenities. Electrical stays under $100 in most situations, especially with solar contributing regularly. That puts total monthly living somewhere between $500 and $900. Someone currently paying $1,500 or more in rent saves between $600 and $1,000 every single month. Stretch that across 10 years, and the difference grows to somewhere between $72,000 and $120,000. For people willing to move more frequently, public land allows free stays for up to 14 days at a time, which pushes costs even lower and adds a level of flexibility that traditional housing simply cannot offer. But before this starts sounding like a sales pitch, there are real problems with this concept that nobody should gloss over. The honest limitations worth knowing. None of this comes without trade-offs, and they deserve a straight look. Charging is a real concern because the semi-platform relies on mega chargers, which are far less common than the standard Tesla supercharger network. Long road trips would need more careful planning than most people are used to. Weight is another practical issue. A vehicle built on a semi-base is going to be heavier than a standard RV, and some campgrounds and back roads have limits that would apply here. Beyond the practical side, the most important thing to keep in mind is that this product has not been officially announced, and the $9,990 figure comes from estimates rather than confirmed pricing. If anyone approaches you asking for a deposit or early reservation on this, walk away immediately, because that is not how Tesla handles its product launches. If this vehicle lands anywhere close to what is being described, it changes how some retirees live while also putting real pressure on the housing conversation as a whole. If Tesla delivers on a legitimate mobile living option at $9,990, the definition of smart living may shift in a way that nobody saw coming.